Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So you probably heard in the last few months about OpenAI, ChatGPT. If you have not heard about that, then you're in the right place. I think it's about time for you to know, especially if you're in the technology field, or if you're interested in learning about it, because it's going to change the whole. It's not going to. It's probably changing the whole trajectory of where we're going. So I thought to create a video, which is Introduction to ChatGPT 101. If you have not used ChatGPT until now, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you how to create an account and how to use it. Give you an overview of how to use it, and then it's the sky's limit. You can go ahead and check how to use it on your daily basis or for your job. So this is going to be a voiceover. You'll see me showing you the website, and I hope you enjoy it.
So at the beginning, I thought to give you a very short introduction to what is ChatGPT. Kind of ChatGPT 101, if this is the first time you're hearing about the concept. So I'm not going to go in depth, just a very general overview of the concept. Now, fun fact, before I actually start the introduction, is that I used ChatGPT to prepare for this video. ChatGPT is a great tool, and once you learn about it, you will see how it's going to make things easier, hopefully easier for you. Now, ChatGPT is an AI language model developed by OpenAI, this is the company name, that can generate human-like text responses. Alright, so I'm going to explain to you what does this sentence mean. AI stands for artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence means a simulation of a human intelligence processes by machines, particularly computer systems. Now, a language model means a tool that can understand and generate human-like text. The name ChatGPT actually tells us a little bit about what it can do. So, GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformers. I'm going to take it one by one, just a little bit an overview of what each concept means. Generative means that the model can generate text. It can create sentences, paragraphs, and even whole articles. Imagine you're having a magical pen, and that pen writes on its own. You just give it a topic, and it starts sentences. It can write lines, paragraphs, or even whole story for you. So here's an example that I gave ChatGPT. I will show you the question that I asked. I will show you later how to do that, but this is just for demo. So I typed in that generate a script for 30 seconds commercial promoting our new product, and I chose the product to be pencil. What I want you to see for now is that the answer that I get from ChatGPT is coming back in a way that we can understand it, very similar to a conversation. Now, the question that I entered into ChatGPT, we call that prompt, or prompt if we have multiple questions. The second part of the name is pre-trained. Pre-trained means or indicates that the model, ChatGPT, has been previously trained on large number of data of text from the internet. Now, in other words, it means that the ChatGPT has already spent a lot of time reading tons of books, websites, and other texts, so it's ready to talk to us or give us the information that we need. Think about it similar to when you want to learn how to play a musical instrument, like for example, guitar. Before you can play songs or write your own music, you need to learn about it. You need to learn about the chords, scales, and techniques. Very similarly to ChatGPT, it has been trained before we can actually use it. The last word is transformers. Transformers is a machine learning technique. Transformers is a type of neural network architecture that ChatGPT uses. Neural networks are a series of algorithms that are designed to recognize patterns. The transformer architecture is particularly good at handling sequential data like languages. So think about it this way. Transformers is like a word puzzle expert inside ChatGPT brain that helps it to put words in the right order and make sentences that make sense. ChatGPT is actually part of a broader AI field called natural language processing, or NLP, that focuses on the interaction between computers and humans through natural language. Now is the fun part, is that where you can use ChatGPT. There are tons of examples. I'll just give you just very few. Like, you can use it for basic conversations. You can ask questions. You can generate content. You can have language translation, programming help, personalized recommendation, open-ended questions, fun and entertainment, art and music, engineering, IoT. The sky is the limit. And in this video, let's get started and see how we can actually create an account and use ChatGPT. It is quite easy to sign up for ChatGPT. All you need is an email address. So you go to openai.com. I'll leave the link in the description box. And you are going to click on sign up. Or I'll give you another way to how to get here. You can literally search Google. You can Google it. You can say ChatGPT, and then it's the very first one, introducing ChatGPT OpenAI, or I hope that you get it the first one. Once you click on it, it takes you to the designated website for ChatGPT. We're still on OpenAI, and you can click on sign up again. And here we are. It's the same website. So once you get here, you need to create your account. So enter your email address and then click continue. And once you click continue, you proceed. They might ask you for a phone number. I'm not sure. And then once you finish this step, it's pretty easy. You go to your email address and then you click on the verification email that you receive from OpenAI. Once you receive an email from OpenAI, you just click on verifying your email address. The next time you go back to OpenAI or the ChatGPT webpage, you click on log in. Here you have a couple of options. You want to go to ChatGPT, DALL-E, or API. We're now focusing on ChatGPT. You click here. This will take you to this page and you can enter your email address. You click on continue. Then you are going to enter the password that you chose when you created the account. And voila, we got in. So the area in ChatGPT is that this main area here is where you are going to ask questions. The one on your left is that once you have a couple of inquiries or questions, you will see them here. And I'll show you that in a bit. So if this is the first time we are using ChatGPT, which we are in this video, you can explore more. So they have a couple of examples. They have a couple of the capabilities and some of the limitations. You can take a look at it. Now, for ChatGPT, there are two options. There is the free account and there's an plus account that you can upgrade to if you like to do that. Just keep in mind that there is subscription fees for that account. So the very first thing I want to explore with you is that I can click on the examples that they have it here. So I'm going to click randomly on this second one. Once I click on it, you can see that the question is being entered here. And then you hit enter or you send the message. And once you ask ChatGPT, it starts generating the answer for the question that you have for that specific inquiry or for this specific prompt. So the question is a prompt, is something that we ask ChatGPT. So once I enter the prompt, ChatGPT starts generating the answer and gives me some of the suggestions for this question or this prompt here. The question that I just showed you is a question that suggested by ChatGPT. But for the purpose of the demo of this video on how ChatGPT works, I'm going to take very simple examples to show you how to use it. So ChatGPT has great capabilities. I can even make another video for it. But for now, I want to focus on how to use it for your first interaction with it. Since I come from an engineering background, I thought to start with something related to engineering. So I'm going to show you an example of how to use ChatGPT in programming. All right, so now for a new chat, I go here and I click for a new chat. I will go back to the same page and then I can enter the question over here. So let's say, for example, I want to learn about Python programming. So here's the question. I asked ChatGPT that give me an overview of the Python programming language. And then ChatGPT goes ahead and gives me an overview of what the language is. You can during the generation of the answer, you can stop the answer while it gets generated. But for now, I want to show you that it gives me a kind of an overview of what is the Python programming language. What's cool about ChatGPT is that I can talk to it as a conversational based. So I'm going to ask another question. So let's say, for example, that I liked what the answer is, but I find it a little bit complicated. So I want ChatGPT to simplify that for me. So I can ask the same question within the same chat, and I click on it and I say, can you please, I didn't say please, but I say, can you explain that in simple terms? So it's going to go ahead and cover the same points it gave me at the beginning in simpler ways. And one of the things that I want you to keep in mind is that you keep the same questions related to the same topic within the same chat. So here's another example that, let's say I want to ask ChatGPT to write a Python program to find the factorial of a number. What's cool about ChatGPT is that I actually can give it codes and I can ask it to modify it, to add things to it, to remove things to it, to even check the code itself. So here it gave me the code. It actually gave me a description of the program, which is a great tool if you want to learn any programming languages, as I covered in my previous video. Now, what I want you to notice is that you can go back and forth. So even here for this example, I can ask ChatGPT, give me another example. And it can generate example within the same topic that I just talked about. I didn't need to specify that, please give me another example in Python. ChatGPT already knew since we're talking under the same chat. All right, let's say, for example, I want to teach students in grade 6 Python language. So I asked ChatGPT, can you show me that, how to do it in steps? And here, as an educator, this is a great tool. It gives me an introduction, an overview, how to understand the problem, a step-by-step of how to teach this language to grade 6 students. Now, this is a very simple example. The sky is the limit with programming. I might make another video for programming in particular. All right. So here's another example. Since I love teaching engineering topics, let's see how can I use ChatGPT in engineering education. Again, in this video, I'm only covering a very basic questions to show you the capabilities of ChatGPT, kind of ChatGPT 101. Now, when I want to talk to ChatGPT, or if I want to do a search, it is recommended, and this is how I do it, is that I start a new chat because this is a different topic. It's not a Python overview. It's not the first question we ask. So I'm going to click on a new chat here, and then I'll type in the question. So here's a question that says, give me examples of using ChatGPT in engineering education, particularly in learning electrical engineering for college and university students, specifically in their first year, and show results in 4 main points. Now, the beauty of ChatGPT is that the more specific you are, the more accurate feedback or answers that you can get from ChatGPT. So once I asked the question, it gave me some suggestions on how to use ChatGPT, and it gave me 4 points on that. Now, let's say, for example, I want to know more about point 3. I want to have more, either elaborate more or more examples. So I can go ahead and say, give me some examples for point 3. Without even copying the same thing, ChatGPT knows exactly what I want. So it goes back to this point and starts generating examples for it. Now, let's say I want this to be organized in a table. So I can say that organize the results in a table. And it does that for me. And this is the beauty, again, for ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT, so I'll be talking a lot about it. And it's wonderful. Once you give it what you want, it can organizes the answer for you. You can even specify how many columns, how many rows you want. You can ask it to modify it. You can say, can you add more examples to it? Or if you have a very specific topic, let's say I love teaching PLCs and SCADA, and I said, can you please include that in it? You can literally ask ChatGPT anything you want in that sense. Alright, just for a change, because I love art, I'm going to also give you some examples of how to use it in art. Alright, so again, every time I want to start a new chat, a new topic, you need to click on a new chat. You go here, and then you enter the question that you want. So this is an art-related question, so I said, can you provide me a biography of Wesley Kandinsky? And here it gives me a biography of this artist. He's one of my favorite artists. And it goes ahead. Again, you can choose to stop the generating at any point, but I'm going to let it finish generating the answer. ChatGPT is a conversational. I can ask it, can you please summarize this in a shorter format? So I'm going to go ahead and say, let's say, for example, I want to use that as an introduction in a presentation. Summarize this into a shorter paragraph. And it's going to do that for me. Very short paragraph. Now I can ask it any question. So give me some of the notable artworks by Kandinsky. And here it's going to list all or one of the notable works for this artist. I can be as specific as I want or as general as I want. I can pick one of the points and say, can you please elaborate more or tell me more? So here's a question that I'm going to ask again is that, can you give me some of the key themes or subjects to his work? And then once it's generated the question, let's say I want to elaborate more about music and synesthesia. And then I'm going to go ahead and say, can you elaborate on point 4? More on point 4. So now it's going to give me more information about point 4, highlighting Kandinsky work on visual art and music. Again, I can ask ChatGPT to either summarize that, put it in charts. I can go ahead back and forth if I'm interested to learn more about this artist, or if I want to kind of do a research or learn anything related to this artist or his work. Alright, so here's another example of using ChatGPT is in the music industry. I will start this part by asking ChatGPT to suggest what I can use it for in music industry. So again, for starting a new chat, you click on new chat here, and then you enter the question over here. So I'm going to go ahead and say, how can I use ChatGPT in the music industry. Good. So now it's giving me some suggestions. I can use it for songwriting. I can use it for music recommendation, music theory and education. It gave me some suggestions on how to use ChatGPT. Now, one of the common prompts or common question that we can use with ChatGPT is that we tell ChatGPT to imagine that it is an expert in something. It is a university music teacher with 20 years experience that has successful records. So you can tell ChatGPT to imagine that it's an expert in something and then give you the results based on that. So for this one specific question, I said, imagine you are a university music teacher for 20 years. I'm not very specific. I just said in general that has a successful record. I want you to explain what is considered as blue song. So ChatGPT going to go ahead as a university, as an expert in this field, is going to explain to me what is the blue song is. And here are some of the suggestions. It goes through the structure, the chords, the melodies, the lyrics theme, etc. I can go ahead and ask it to be more specific. Can you give me more Can you give me examples on songs that are considered blue songs? Can you suggest examples of blue songs? Blue songs. And here is the answer I get from ChatGPT. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to come up with a song. Like one of the uses for ChatGPT in music is that lyric generation. So I can ask it, can you write an uplifting song about overcoming challenges, for example? I can be more specific. I can say, write a song that starts with this line, any line you want. And then you can let ChatGPT do that for you. Now, since I'm talking about music industry, lyrics, writing, art, anything related with art and generative AI, there is still an ongoing discussion on copyright. It's still a controversial topic, like who owns the material, the royalties when creating any creative pieces using AI. Now, this is a different topic besides the main objective of this video, but I thought to kind of point that out. We can discuss that in another video, but I want you to keep that in mind when using any generative AI, not specifically ChatGPT, any other generative AI, as there are some guidelines now on how to use it or when to use it. Maybe you need to declare that you actually used the help of AI when creating any artistic piece. So now I'm going to give you another example on how to use ChatGPT in, let's say, for example, book writing or interior design, any topic that you're interested in. Once you want to start a new topic, you go to a new chat and then you write your prompt over here. Now the prompt is that you're an expert in science fiction writing. Please create a short story, and the story consists of 3 main chapters. And here ChatGPT is starting to generate that, chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. I can also, once it finishes the generation, I can ask it to modify. You can read that and modify it. Or I can ask, give me another example. And then ChatGPT starts giving you another short story, science fiction story, different than the example you have over here. I'm going to start a new chat, and in this new chat, the prompt that I'm using is that I'm telling ChatGPT that you're an expert in interior design, but this time I asked ChatGPT to list as many different perspectives. Sometimes I don't want it to have a very specific answer. I want it to give me the options. What are the options on this topic? And now I am telling ChatGPT to write the response as a bullet point list. So in the prompt that you or the question that you ask ChatGPT, you can be as specific as you want. The more information you give ChatGPT, the more accurate results to what you want. You can also ask ChatGPT to questions like ask me questions if you want. Oh, it's generating the answer. So here it's giving me the different perspective on the topic, which is interior design for small area on or different perspectives on this topic over here. Now I can ask ChatGPT to either elaborate more or if I have any other question for it. Now the point of this video, I gave you a couple of suggestions on prompts, but the point that I want to do for this one is that keep each chat separate. So if you're talking about interior design, keep any questions you want related to this one in one chat, because once you keep that, ChatGPT will learn more about the topic. So if I go back to the Python overview, for example, it remembers what we talked about. Anything we had back and forth, it's over here. So I can even say, oh, forget anything you want, everything you said, and let's do something for grade 1, for example. But the point of this for now is that keep each topic by itself, because that will make it easier for you if you want to go back to it, and also makes it easier for ChatGPT to learn more about what you want specifically. So what I showed you is just a few samples of prompts. You can have any question, any prompts. Here are a couple of prompts that you can use with ChatGPT. You can pause the video, you can take an example and try them yourself. You can also use this prompt of imagine you are a travel guide expert, imagine you are a fitness trainer, and then you can ask whatever you want. What I want to point out in this video is that it's important to differentiate between AI and a search engine. AI is not a search engine. With search engine, you literally just go to search engine and then you type in what you want and you will get the results. AI is back and forth. It's like a conversation. You can ask more questions, you can modify, you can add more information. It's not like a search and then you get the results right away. I'm going to give you some of the references if you want to take a look. As usual, I always recommend you go to the website that created this product. So you go to OpenAI, they have a lot of resources on ChatGPT on how to use it, how to write clear instructions. You can also go to here where it shows you different models. I'm going to leave the links in the description box below. You can also check LinkedIn Learning. There are great courses over there. I don't currently have one yet, but there are wonderful courses. You can check them. I personally go there, and this is how I learned about ChatGPT. So you can check that. I'll leave the link in the description box as well. And there is a generative AI learning path from Google. You can check that as well. I'll leave the link in the description box. Now, generative AI, there are now tons of websites, tons of resources. I wanted to keep this video for ChatGPT, but let me know in the comments if you're interested in me showing you other websites. I'm currently loving Adobe Firefly, but let me know in the comments if you want me to go over the other websites as well. Great resources online and great tools if you are into this, the artistic side of generative AI. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.